Hey, thanks for joining me for 5 more great Canadian metal albums. And these are gonna be some more recent material. So the first band I'm gonna talk about is Gavora. They're a black metal band from Montreal, and this is their most recent EP from 2018, Sulphur Soul. When I first heard of this band, I was kind of expecting more of a second wave throwback, maybe something closer to Spectral Wound, but I'd say more than anything, this is a Deathspell Omega meets Marduk meets the Quebec black metal sound. So good stuff. Again, this is a 4 song EP, and I think it's great. But the most recent full length that came out in 2023, just a month or so ago, is Gayanam. And I think this one is much more interesting. I don't know it too intimately yet, but I've been playing it nonstop since I got in the mail a couple weeks ago. So I don't have a lot of details, but I think this is a really cool album so far, and I look forward to hearing more from these guys. So in a different video, I talked about this album, Cromlech, Ascent of Kings. This is my album of the year so far. I really love it, but I've actually put it to the side because it's a lot to chew on, and I'm going to get some things, some other purchases out of the way, and then I'm going to dedicate some more time to this one. So I'm not here to talk about that, though. I've already discussed that a bit. I was into Ascent of Kings so much that I tried to track down their debut full-length album, Ave Mortis, which came out in 2013. So there was a 10-year gap between these two albums. And this does appear to be out of print, but this band's from the Toronto area, as am I. So I was able to track it down at a used record store. Um, not too close to here, but not too far away either. So this album is definitely a little bit more straightforward, less ambitious than the new one. Shorter songs, I'd say. But like the Gavora album, these are more recent acquisitions that I'm getting used to. So I don't have a lot in the way of details, but I definitely recommend it. I like it. We're talking epic heavy doom. There's a lot of bands called Cromlech, and I was just kind of doing a little bit of research, and I totally forgot. I saw there was that band called Cromlech from Sweden. And as soon as I saw the album cover of the one release they put out, it had something about a vulture something. And I was like, oh yeah, that one. It's kind of regarded as a lost Gothenburg style classic. And I was surprised to see they were from Varberg, which struck my eye because that's a town I'm quite familiar with. I have family there, spent a bunch of time there. And that's the same. That's the same town that band Anata, that technical death metal band. That's where they were from. It's a beachside, kind of touristy town. It's kind of interesting. Doesn't feel too metal, but it's a very nice place though. So Cromlech several members of Cromlech are part of another band called Into Oblivion, which I've also talked about. In another video, I discussed this, Winds of Serpentine Ascension, which is their most recent release. It's a 3-song EP. Came out in 2020. And I was really into that, so I went on Bandcamp and found their newest full-length, Paragon. I forget which year this came out, but I think this is several years old now. I think it's album artwork. It was Paulo Girardi, actually. I don't always look at who the cover artist is, but I just kind of was paying attention because in the liner notes here, there's just a message from Paolo, who, if you didn't know, was a artist pretty famous for extreme metal releases. And he just had a story about how there was earthquakes in Italy where he lives while he was painting this, and how it was, what's the last sentence say? That's how I created your artwork, in a dangerous situation. So again, I discussed these guys briefly, but a unique mix of black and death metal. I've heard some Angel Corpse comparisons out there, and there's definitely are times where I say this sounds like Angel Corpse, but the songs are very different. less aggressive, more epic, less thrash, more classic heavy metal. But again, I ordered this through Bandcamp, and even though it got to my place in a timely manner, there was just a little note saying sorry for the wait, and they threw this in for free. This is the second full-length album, Creation of a Monolith, on cassette. And I do have a tape deck, but it's like 5% slow, and it really bugs me, so I don't really use it much anymore. But I've been listening to this album on YouTube quite a bit. And you know what? It's the oldest material I've heard from them, but I think it's my favorite. It's just a lot more guitar-oriented. It's just a narrative guitar throughout, just constantly changing. This is a double album. Each disc, or each side in this case, is 3 long songs. This is a single cassette, but that's a lot of cassette here. And both Cromlech and Into Oblivion. I'm really into these guys these days. And once again, they're from the same neck of the woods as me, so I don't think these bands play a lot, but sure they'll play a local show one day, and I think I will be there. So that's it. See you next time.